Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffy Kennedy, author of Epic Fantasy Romance. I'm here with my first cup of coffee. Delicious. Today is Thursday, July 14th. Halfway through July, racing right along. I don't know. Is this like summer syndrome? Delicious. So, I have had just, how do I describe it? It's just been an epic few days. And in some ways, it began a couple of weeks ago with uh, a storm. It is monsoon season here in New Mexico. I've mentioned a number of times, which is fabulous because it means rain. We are most grateful. Everything is green. Um, it's incredibly important to get these monsoon rains. It's when we get most of our moisture. However, with rain often comes lightning. And a couple of weeks ago, we had a storm where we were getting this gorgeous rain and a lightning bolt hit nearby. And it was one of those ones where, like when the lightning cracks right overhead and makes you kind of just jump out of your skin. And this one was particularly shocking because we hadn't had the normal lead up, like normally you can like hear the storm getting closer and closer, and the thunder is coming faster after the lightning cracks, and so you can count, and the childhood game of counting, uh, you know, basically knowing the difference between speed of light and speed of sound and how close that lightning is getting. Well, we didn't get any of that. Even though there had been like some lightning and thunder in the distance, all of a sudden we had this crack right overhead. Um, that, like everything went really bright. I was like, whoa. And we'd already had things unplugged, but it knocked out our internet. And we got texts from Xfinity saying, uh, internet is out, we're working on repairing it. They didn't get it fixed until this was already like, I don't know, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And they didn't get it fixed till like 4 in the morning. But it came back up and, you know, hooray. But then our internet just wasn't the same again. It was slow, or it kept dropping. We had to keep rebooting the router. Uh, it would be unstable, like in Zoom, your internet is unstable. Um, so I'd gotten on with an Xfinity uh, helper person on chat who was great, and we were on for like an hour and a half, and she ended up like upgrading our internet. We got faster internet. Um, she like cleaned things up. I don't know what they do when they clean things up, but she cleaned things up, and I when I complained, I said, she said that she could actually get us a better plan where we'd be paying like $10 less a month. I said that would be great because we'd already spent like $30 on cell phone overage charges because we hadn't had that internet. I think we finished watching a movie that night, which we were feeling profligate, um, because, it was like, well, use our cell data. So, a bit of background to this is we have had this plan that is a very old plan, uh, capital V, capital O, capital P, very old plan with Verizon, which did not have unlimited data, but it was inexpensive, and Verizon kept trying to get me to switch to unlimited data. And I'd looked at it a couple of times, but every plan change would have us paying like $100 more a month. And we were paying like every time we went a gigabyte over or 4 gigabytes over, um, on our allotted data allowance, it was costing us $15. So even on some months when we like, it was mostly if we were traveling, if we were on a road trip and we wanted to play music or something like that, we would use data, and it would you know, every once in a while we would have like $60 in overage charges, but it was still, made more sense financially than $100 more every month. So we were using this cellular data overage. I mentioned to the Xfinity gal, oh, well, we had like $30 in overage charges. So be nice to have less on our plan. And she said, oh, well, let me credit you $30. So that was lovely. She even said by the time we finished and everything was really working great, that she said that I was one of the nicest customers that she had dealt with all day, and she really appreciated that. I got that twice in a couple of days, and I thought, are they saying that to make me feel good, or am I really nicer than most? David thinks it's because I'm nicer than most people. Um, Maybe I'm not generally a nice person. Maybe I am. I don't know. But I can be very forceful about getting what I want. But when I'm dealing with the customer service people like that on chats or on the phone, it's never their fault. It's never their problem that things are not okay. I thought it was showing weird connection. Speaking of, um, so there's no reason not to be kind to them. Working in those call centers sucks. They're always just doing the best that they can. Every once in a while, if they're not listening and they're just going through their script, then I will get pointed about it. So, anyway, we'd come away thinking, aha, success, and the internet's working well. Well, reader, it was not working well. It continued to degrade. We were rebooting the router 6, 7 times a day. The router was getting really hot. It was just not, it wasn't up to speed, all of these things, lagging, dropping signal. So I was doing a little bit of research on this. I thought I'd have to get on with Xfinity, but we decided that probably what we needed was a new router. So on, let's see, today's Thursday. So on Tuesday, David went, and because our router was, they start getting old. And I was concerned that it was so hot. It's always a bad sign, right? So he went and got a new router, which cost like $200. I was a little shocked it was that expensive. But he came home with the new router and he installed it and got it working in time for, oh, just a couple things that we were doing, whatever. Um, and so we had, it was like installed by like 2 or 3 o'clock, and it was great. Internet was perfect. It was solid. This was clearly the great solution. Everything was going fabulous. And we were all pleased. It's like problem solved. Now we can move on with our lives. It's amazing to me how integral having internet is now. But wait, there's more. So a storm rolls in that evening and it's starting to rain. And I'm very happy because we'd had a couple of storms come through that hadn't produced any rain. So I was like, hooray, rain. And then, can you believe it? All of a sudden, crack, this massive lightning bolt, and I saw it from the kitchen window. Like it went down, and I don't know where it hit, but it hit close, and instantaneous crack of sound. And David was in the kitchen cooking dinner like a good man, and he just about jumped out of his skin, and we were like, "Whoa!" And and it fried our new router. It fried the new router. It stopped working. What are the odds? What are the odds? I mean, that's like Thor coming after me personally. So we Best Buy didn't open until 11 Wednesday morning till the next morning. So we used cellular data to do work stuff, um, both writing and SIFWA stuff. And so we start burning the cellular data, right? And I told David, because this happened again at like 7, 8 at night, I was going to go to bed and read. And but he has Parkinson's disease. He doesn't always sleep well, and he's very restless at night. And I said, if you want to watch movies or whatever tonight, um, go ahead and use the cell data. So I wake up in the morning to like another $30 worth of overage charges, but what can you do? And I do stuff that morning pretty much without internet. Fortunately, it's Wednesday, which is my blog day. I ended up not blogging at all. I thought I could do it later in the day, but I didn't get to it. Um, so apologies there if you were looking for a blog post. Fortunately, no podcast. Tuesday morning, I used cell data to do the podcast, to record it and to upload it, which that burned a lot of data. It's funny because it reminds me of that quote, um, which there's some question of like whether or not it's apocryphal. Apparently, Bill Gates denied ever saying this, but then they found evidence that he did. That in a 1985 article, um, the April 29th, 1985 issue of InfoWorld, that Bill Gates said, when we set the upper limits of PC DOS at 640K, we thought nobody would ever need that much memory. It just amuses me when I'm like burning gigabytes of data at a time. I could tell you like how much we went through. I'm not sure it matters, but oh yeah, like our overage got up to $120 for 8 gigabytes. Um, so we had considered lying about the router, right? When David was going to take it back, we were like, well, we could just say, I mean, we didn't even have it 24 hours, that we could just say, oh, well, it didn't work, so we need to exchange it. And we decided that that would be wrong, that would be unfair. Uh, and so he took the router back and he explained to the Best Buy person what had happened. And they just said, oh, sounds like you need to exchange it. So fortunately, we were not out an additional $200 for this router. So David comes home with the router. I've pretty much got my words done. I had to give a class for the Clarion folks, the Clarion Write-a-thon folks, at 2 o'clock my time. Uh, Hello to any of you who may have tuned in today. Normally I talk about writing more, but today's the epic story of our internet and loss thereof. It's a variable feast here at First Cup of Coffee. You just never know what you're going to get. So I by now it's like David got home at like noon, and so we're trying to set up the router, and I figure it's going to go fast, right? Because we've done it once already. We know how to, we've done the drill the day before, even though David handled most of it. And so we get it all set up, and it won't connect. There's no internet. It does connect. It says connected, no internet. So I finally get on with an Xfinity person, and because I can't do chat because we don't have internet, right? And I don't want to try typing on my phone, and I'm trying not to use the cell data to power my laptop. So it really was a lot of effort to talk to a person on the phone. Like even while I'm on the waiting for to get somebody to come on, they're like sending me text saying, click this text to have a chat. I'm like, no, I want to talk to a person. Finally get on with the person. He tries a bunch of times, tries to help me, resets it, and it will not connect. There is nothing there, and he says we have to send somebody out to your house because there's something wrong. That like the internet data is not making it to the router. So, and of course, they can't send somebody until Friday. So 2 more days. So I'm just like, fuck my life. Whatever, I can live. So I'd hoped to have internet back in time to do this Clarion class. I did not. So I ran it on cell data, right? Did my laptop on connected to the hotspot. Did the class. It was fun. If any of you are listening, it was really fun chatting with you all. We can talk more about the heroine's journey versus the hero's journey, but I don't know. Maybe I should read Gail's book. Anyway, that's a side conversation. So, finish that. I have like half an hour before I have a meeting for SIFWA. And so I do that via Discord. And, I'm watching like the getting the messages from Verizon telling me about my overages. And so right before I get on this meeting with SIFWA, I decide, okay, I cannot be stubborn on this any longer. I go to Verizon, I pick the cheapest plan I can with unlimited data. It's still going to cost us like $100 more a month. I'm griping about it, but um, at this point, it's just got to be done, right? And also, I'm noticing for the first time that apparently like we could go to 9 gigabytes of overage, but and we've already used like 8.4, and I'm thinking, oh, it's not unlimited overage. I mean, I can't just keep shouting out, otherwise I might have done it. Also, I'd gotten a message from Verizon recently, uh, where they had said that they were absolutely making my very old plan go away and I was going to have to change anyway. So I was like, all right, capitulate, have to change. So I go in and I change it on the website and I figure, okay, it's fine. So I'm in the middle of this meeting and it's like started at 4, it's like 4:45, and all of a sudden internet just drops. I have nothing. I'm kicked out of the meeting. Uh, and my phone has not only no cell data, but I can't even use it to make calls. It says, oh, you can make emergency calls only. Um, and actually, I'm sorry, I left out a little piece of this story. I changed it before the meeting, but then during the meeting, I got another notice for an overage charge. And I was like, what the heck? So as we're talking, I go back into the Verizon website, and sure enough, the changes had not taken effect. So I do it again, and it's weird because it's like different prices now, actually lower. So yay me. So I go ahead and set it, and I don't know if it's like when I confirmed the plan change, but that was like when it kicked me out, and it uh, my phone becomes a brick. I can't use it. I have no internet. Can't use that to contact Verizon. So it's like, oh well, this is just really charming. So I go and get David's phone, which is like down to 10% charge. I can't even with this, so I have to find his charging cord too. Call Verizon. I get on with somebody. uh, this person can't help me. They say they have to like connect me to someone else, and it takes a while to get to the point where they can't help me. And so then he's like, well, let me get you to someone who can help you change your plan. And he puts me on hold and comes back once to check with me, and we're still on hold. And then I get this message saying, please enter your PIN. I'm like, what again? So I entered my PIN, and then it says, I'm sorry, the call center is closed. And I'm like, no, no, the call center cannot be closed. So that was when I go and I and oh, I'm sorry, I already was on David's phone. So I call again and I get through, and this guy is sounds very nice and helpful, and but he says you're so staticky, I can barely hear you, and I'm like. I am desperate. I really am afraid that if I hang up, I will not be able to get a person again. So I'm like yelling into the phone so he can hear me. And he says, he's like, it looks like you have unlimited data now, you should be fine. He said, have you tried restarting your phone? And I was like, fuck me, no, I had not tried restarting my phone. So while he's there, I restart my phone, it clicks in, my phone is no longer a brick, I'm able to use it. And then David's phone at the same time, like even though I didn't restart it, now all of a sudden it has connects to the 5G and everything. So this has been a 20-minute story, so I apologize to those of you who are here for talk about writing in industry, but this is like part of it, right? So I'm accessing internet through my cell phone for the next couple of days till they come fix our internet. It is occurring to me now that I have unlimited data. Why don't I do this all the time? Also, when I was on with the lovely first Xfinity gal who gave me all these deals, she had asked me who we did our cell phone service with. And I said, "Oh, I don't want to change our cell phone service." And she said, "Oh, I completely understand that." Well, dear reader, I am now considering changing our cell phone service. We have been with Verizon since the beginning. Um, and now I'm wondering, should I consolidate my internet and cell phone service? It makes me think maybe it would be bad. Like in this case, it was good to have two different services so I could go back and forth. And it really sucked when both were down. I couldn't even, I had no way to contact the people I'd been in the meeting with to tell them what had happened. I tried to text them and my texts wouldn't go through. Um, so it's disconcerting when there's like zero ability to contact the outside world. I thought that I was going to have to. My final plan, and I had another meeting at 6 and now it's like after 5. But my next plan was was like get in my car and drive to the Verizon store. I wasn't even sure what time they closed and I had no way to check since I had no internet or cell data. But I thought, well, I'll just go drive to the Verizon store and see if I can get them to restore our service. Uh, Desperate measures. I was also thinking that I could actually go to a place. Today we have a board meeting, and I'm probably going to be online for a couple of hours for that board meeting. We are so reliant on internet now, right? Hummingbird up above. So, um, and I could go to a friend's house too and use their internet. But I think there's no reason now why I can't just burn cell data, right? I have unlimited data. I'm certainly going to be paying out the wazoo, ye old wazoo, for it. So I might as well just do that, right? So on that note, I'm going to go upload this podcast. Um, this has been the latest installment of all the things going on. My mom said, "You certainly don't lead a boring life." My 80-year-old mother, who has COVID, thinks her life is boring in comparison to mine. Thank you for all of the kind thoughts on that. She has probably had it since Saturday. She was diagnosed on Monday. She's been taking the medication, which she said makes her feel like she's sleepwalking, but it is helping. She is doing better. Stepdad has not yet gotten it. So I think which kind of bitches her out because she's annoyed that she got it and he hasn't. But it's just weird. It's funny how the viruses work. Some people get, some people don't. Uh, but at least we have the medications and the vaccines now, right? Huh. All right. This has been a long podcast consisting of very little but ranting. I will be back tomorrow. I hope you all have a wonderful Thursday, and I will talk to you in the morning. You all take care. Bye bye.